backstage.
Okay, I will keep it on the stage. Yeah, maybe you can just like go. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna go closer now. Nick?
Welcome everybody to our event tonight. Make some noise, everybody! The promise that have joined us today. I have to say, being part of this team has been fantastic. We're really doing politics different. We're a team, and it's been just a great experience working with this group of people. Can I get the candidates that are here in the room from different ridings across the province to just join me on stage? Fantastic. I'll just introduce myself first. My name is Nicholas Pereira, and I am the... I'll just say we're going to stand up and we're going all the way, and no one's going to stop us, okay? So my name is Nicholas Pereira, and I'm a candidate for the St. John Rosse riding. Many of you have seen the video. You know from that video, as amongst many other videos, and what we've been fighting for. We're going to fight all the way. We're not backing down. We're not scared. We're going to continue to fight for our freedoms and fight for the freedom of every single person in this country. Our first candidate here, Ron, please come up, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and your riding.
I wasn't prepared for this at all, and I'm not a speaker at all. I'm only a teacher for 5 years. I'm the Mayor of G. Grand Lake riding candidate. I hope we have some Mayor of Gers here tonight. Do we have anybody here from Mayor of G? Yes, we do. Oh, what's that? I promise I won't ask you to buy membership of Mayor of G. It's my second time running for Max Vernier. I'm 75 years old. I think he's the only option for Canada. We have to get out of this mess. Right? Yeah.
Good evening. So I have the pleasure of being a candidate for Acadie Bathurst. I'm not originally from New Brunswick. I was born in Vancouver. I moved to Ontario, grew up there. Spent my high school years in Calgary, back to Ontario, where I'm on my way. But we had 4 children, and I watched my business get pulled out from under my feet during the COVID crisis, and or nonsense, however you want to look at it. And yeah, I had the great pleasure of landing here in New Brunswick. It's a phenomenal place, wonderful people, one of the most beautiful spots in the world, and I think we're all in agreement that we should keep it that way. And this is one of the only parties out there that is going to help keep Canada the way it is, the way we love it. The other thing that I wanted to say sort of up here, it's overwhelming. I've talked to a number of parties over the years to be politically involved, and every one of them gave me the same response: write a check. Write a check, send us some money. How can I help? Write a check. How can I help? Write a check. Doesn't matter the party, doesn't matter the town, province that I lived in. Frustrated, I reached out to Maxime Bernier and I said, how can I help? And he said, well, where are you from? And I told him, and he said, you know what? Why don't you run? Let's see your resume, we'll interview you, see what you can do. Why don't you run for us? So, thank you very much. I'll do everything I can to get elected, to get us elected, to get us protected, and get behind Maxime Bernier and keep this country the way we love it and bring back some of the things that we're missing. Awesome.
of this room. That's why you're here. And we're growing every single day. In fact, right now, we are the fastest growing political party and movement in the country. We're not bending, we're not budging, we're not backing down, and more people are waking up to what's going on in this country, and we are offering actual solutions and actual change. And that's because Mr. Maxime Bernier has been flying all across this country. We all saw him got arrested in Manitoba. We all saw him giving speeches at rallies. He's been going all across the country, fighting for our freedoms, and we are all as candidates behind him, and we're so excited to be part of the fastest growing political movement in the country. I want to welcome to the stage the leader of the People's Party of Canada and our future Prime Minister.
Very pleased to be with you. That was a nice day today, and yesterday also, and the day before, when Justin Trudeau decided to launch this campaign, I looked at my wife and I said, okay, let's go, we are ready. We are ready for that. And when Justin Trudeau said, I want Canadians to judge me as Prime Minister on the way that I managed the COVID-19 crisis. And he said, I think I did a good job. But yes, Mr. Trudeau, Canadians will judge you the 20th of September about the way how you were able to not respect our Charter of Rights, to violate our freedoms. And that will be the question, the ballot questions for this election. Do you want more and more of the same? More lockdowns, more mask mandate, more now vaccine passport? Or you want to go back to what we used to do and used to live in a free and a prosperous country before COVID-19? That will be the question. And yes, I hope that this election will be a referendum about COVID-19 and our freedoms. I believe that Canadians are fed up with that. Not only people that decided not to have the vaccine, but also people who decided to take the 2 shots. Because some of them did it. They told us, they told them, do it for yourself, but also for your family and for the people that you love. And actually, it's not true, because everybody, people who are vaccinated and people who are not vaccinated, can spread the virus. So we are in the same boat. We are all united in the same boat. We need to learn to live with COVID-19. And that's very different than what we've been said. And Trudeau and all these provincial governments told us. So now they want to impose a vaccine passport on everybody to travel across the country by air, train, or by boat. And they want also, if you are working with the federal government, you need to have your vaccine passport. Actually, Justin Trudeau said, you know, if you don't have your vaccine passport, and you are working for the federal government, there will be consequences. So what is telling civil servants working for the federal government? You'll be punished if you don't take the vaccine. I can hear a dictator saying that, but not a politician in Canada in a free and a prosperous country. Justin Trudeau is acting like a dictator right now with that COVID-19 crisis. And he must understand that we won't accept that. And the person that will be punished, that will be him, the 20th of September.
Yes.
And they want to impose a mask on our children. Actually, in Quebec right now, in my own riding in Beauce, if you want to go to school, you will need to have a mask. The government decided that. We believe that it's a decision that must come from parents. Parents must be able to decide if their kids will go in school with a mask or without a mask. That must be their decision. But you know, it's not based on science, all that. Because if you live in Quebec City and you're a kid there, you can go to school without a mask. So I don't understand. And if you live in Alberta, you can go to school without a mask. If you live here in New Brunswick, children will have to wear a mask. So that's not based on science. I don't think that the virus is more virulent in Quebec or in New Brunswick than in Alberta. I don't believe that the virus is more dangerous in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, in my riding, than in Quebec City. So we know now that all that is not based on science. It's based on polling, survey, political control, government control. That is what they want. They want to control our life. And we are saying no to that. We are the only national political party that is against lockdowns, mask mandate, vaccine passport, and it's part of our platform, and it's part also of our constitution as a party. We believe in 4 principles: individual freedom, personal responsibility, fairness, and respect. And all our policies are in line with these principles. And actually, when Nicolas said that we are doing politics differently, that's the reality. Because we don't do polling every 5 minutes to know what you want to hear, and after that doing a focus group to know how to tell you that. That's what they're doing. They're doing the establishment political parties, they're doing focus group all the time because they don't do politics based on principles and ideas and conviction. So they try to tell you what you want to hear, and after that they're doing a focus group to know which word they will use to convince you. Our platform for this election in 2021 is the same platform that we had in 2019, and it will be the same platform in 2025, because we need to do these bold reforms to be sure that we'll have a smaller government in Ottawa that will respect the Constitution, that will respect taxpayers, that will respect our freedoms and our rights, and that will respect the autonomy of provincial governments. So we need to do these bold reforms, and that's why we're going to speak about it all the time. Because for us, it's a battle of ideas. It's a huge battle that we must do. And we are doing that with passion and conviction with all our candidates across the country. We have more candidates than the Green Party of Canada, 330 candidates on 338 ridings. And the Green Party, I've been told that yesterday they had 100 candidates all across the country. We have more candidates than the NDP. They have 275 candidates. We are up in the polls. The Green Party of Canada is about 3-4% in the poll. That's their score. And I don't believe in polling, but they are telling us that we are around 6, 7, 8%. I believe it must be more than that. And if they do, when they did a poll, I think it was last week, and they asked the question, who's the best prime minister? And when they put my name, I'm there at 6%. and the leader of the Green at 2%. But you know what? I cannot be on the stage to debate against these leaders, but the Green Party leader can be there. So we know that it's unfair, but I'm not there because they're afraid. They are afraid. The mainstream media, the globalists, the mainstream media, and the establishment politicians, they're afraid of us because what we are saying, it's based on facts. We are speaking the truth based on science, and they know that if more Canadians are able to listen to us, we'll have more support, and people will come on our side, because I believe that Canadians know right now that their freedoms are under attack, and we cannot take for granted our freedoms anymore. So that's why we are not on the stage. And our biggest challenge for this election is that maybe about 40% of the population don't know that we exist. Imagine if they know that there's a party that is doing politics differently and based on principles and speaking the truth about COVID-19, about immigration, about balancing the budget. They'll be surprised and they will want to support us. So that's why they don't want us to be in the news. And actually, like I said before, we did a press conference. When I'm saying that the mainstream media is ignoring us and canceling us, that's a reality. The day of the election, when Justin Trudeau launched the election Sunday morning, we decided to do a press conference in Ottawa around 4 o'clock. I was in Ottawa and I said to my team, we will do that because I believe that the media will come. And so we did that press conference. And I was very happy. And I was very happy because we had about 10 journalists in the room and maybe 10 of them on the line asking questions. I was able to do my presentation, 20 minutes in French, 20 minutes in English. And after that, for 35 minutes, I answered questions. And I said to my team after that, oh my God, that's great. We're going to be in the news. We have something to say, and it's very different than the other politicians. But the day after, zero, nothing. Nothing in the newspaper, nothing on TV, nothing on radio. All these journalists went back to their editorial board and they decided not to cover us. So we were not in the news. But I can tell these media and that cartel, because that's a cartel, the establishment politicians with the mainstream media, they don't want to have any competition. They don't want to have us outside there and being in front of Canadians. But I can tell you, they will have a surprise the 20th of September. They will have a surprise because a lot of Canadians, because of you, they will know that we exist. So what I'm asking you tonight is to be active in the real life. Speak to your friends, your family, your neighbors about the PPC. And we had 300,000 votes at the national election. If every one of these voters find 10 more voters, that would be 3 million votes. And if we have 3 million votes, we will be at 16% in the polls. So I need you, and I believe that you need us also. You need a freedom voice in Ottawa. You need a common sense voice in Ottawa. And you have good and great candidates here in New Brunswick. Everybody will be able to vote for their values. I'm asking you, don't vote against something. Vote for something. Vote for your values. That's the most important. Vote for yourself. Vote for the future of this country. Vote for your children and grandchildren. You don't want, I believe like me, you don't want them to live in a totalitarian country like what we have right now under the Liberals, and that would be the same thing with the Conservative Party of Canada, because they are all the same on these important issues. COVID-19, they all agree with the vaccine passport. You know, we didn't have any opposition in Ottawa during that COVID crisis. In the beginning of the COVID crisis, the Conservatives didn't ask any question. They didn't ask any question. Why? Because their only goal is to be in power, and when they'll be in power, they will do the same thing than the Liberals if they are able to be in government. That's their only goal. So when in the beginning of the crisis, when you have 70% of the population that is afraid and say, yes, we must do lockdowns and we must shut down the economy, you want to have these people on your side, so you won't speak and you won't tell the reality and the truth, that the solution is not lockdowns. Is, you know, we know that that virus is dangerous for older people with comorbidities, and actually 80% of our deaths here in Canada are older people more than 75 years old. So these people must stay at home if they're sick. The other people must do what they want to do. But the Conservative Party of Canada was not there to do that fight. They were not there because they're not conservative anymore. That's only their name. They're only conservative by name. So, you know, if you want to have the same, you can vote for the Conservative, you can vote for the Liberals, you can vote for the NDP. That will be the same. But if you want a real change, I hope you will support our candidates. We don't need to be in government to bring changes in this country. We can do a lot. Look at your example here in New Brunswick at the provincial level. You elected a couple of years ago candidates from the what was the name?
People's Alliance.
People's Alliance. And they had the balance of power. They were able to change things. They had with three the balance of power. I understand that a lot of our candidates will be elected 2, 3, 4, 20, 50, I don't know. But we can have the balance of power. Yes. And if we don't have the balance of power, we will use our words as our weapons, and we will be there every day in the House asking questions, and also in parliamentary committee bringing real debates in this country. And the more we speak, the mainstream media will be there in Parliament, and they will have to cover us, they will have to follow us, because that will be too important. I'm pretty sure that this election will do better than the Green Party of Canada. It took, after 38 years, yes, we'll do better than the Green Party of Canada. After 38 years, the Green Party of Canada, historically, on average, they are at 4, 5, 6% in the polls. For us, after only 3 years, we are supposed to be there at 4, 5, 6%. I believe it's more than that. So that's the first step for a common sense revolution, and you can count on me, you can count on our candidates. We will be there for you. Canada and Canadians need our voice in Ottawa, but we need your support. So, if you can speak to 10 of your friends about the PPC, tell them to go and read our platform, peoplespartyofcanada.ca, and just, you know, we will be able to have more support. I believe I'll be in Alberta next Monday. We'll do a campaign over there, and I can tell you that people in Alberta, usually they're voting Conservative. And I've met a lot of people during that Band Max Freedom Tour. But when I was in Alberta last time, a lady came to me and she said, Maxime, I'm sorry. I said, you're sorry, why? Because at the last election, I didn't vote for you. I wanted to get rid of Justin Trudeau, and I voted for Andrew Scheer for the Conservative Party of Canada. But I love your platform. But you know, sorry, and Scheer didn't win. And she said, this time, I will vote for you. So I said, why? And she said, because the Conservative Party of Canada is not conservative anymore. Is not conservative anymore, and I don't want to waste my vote. I want to have a real freedom, conservative voice in Ottawa. That's the most important for me, for the future of this country, and that's why I will support the PPC.
It's just the other wing of the same bird.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I spoke with our candidates, and I said, you know, some of them were with us in 2019, and asked them, do you see a difference from 2019? Because me, personally, I can see that difference. More people are coming to our rallies, more people are interested, and I can feel the movement, I can feel the momentum. And our candidates also, they know it, and they are ready, and it's easier for them this campaign than the one last time. Because last time, we were a first campaign, a new political party, and it was easy for our opponents to throw names at us. You know, their races, their everything. They did everything. Actually, you may know that the Conservative Party of Canada paid $122,000 to a guy named Kinsella in Toronto to discredit our party. And that's why I'm in the court right now. I'm suing Kinsella and the Conservative Party of Canada for defamation. I will win that case. I'm just waiting. We must have the decision before the election. I will win that case, clear my name, and the name of the party. And after that first election, I received a call from Preston Manning, the founder of the Reform Party. And he said, Maxime, too bad what they did to you. They were saying that you were a racist, xenophobe, and all that. But Maxime, he said, they did that to me when I created the Reform Party, my first election. And it was very tough, the first election. They were efficient. But I can tell you, the second election, they were not able to say that because it was not true. And I can tell you that at the second election, they won't be able to throw names like that at you because we know, and the population know, that it's not true. And he was right. This election, it's more about our platform, and our opponent now don't want to debate with us because they're afraid. We have the arguments and the science on our side, and they're too afraid to debate with us. So what they're doing this time, they try to ignore us like we don't exist. Like the mainstream media. Every day in the mainstream media, you have the leaders, what they're doing, but I'm not there. But actually, every day I'm doing a press conference, and every day I'm doing that press conference in front of our people, outside or inside, and every day I publish the press release about one policy on our platform, but we don't have any coverage. But today, in front of the legislature, CBC came. Do you know why they came? Because of what happened to Justin Trudeau last time, you know, a lot of people were not happy. We're not happy with Justin Trudeau, and now that's all over the news. But the mainstream media said, we saw a guy at that rally against Justin Trudeau with the PPC Act. So you must be responsible of that.
Boo!
So I said, you know, and do you condemn that? I said, no. Everybody has the right to express his point of view, in a peaceful way, without any violence. And I didn't see any violence over there. I see people that were mad. And yes, I'm mad also. My tour is a Mad Freedom Tour. I'm mad about the government. I'm mad about what is happening to our country. I'm mad about our deficit. I'm mad that we are losing our freedoms. And yes, and I understand that these people were mad also. So, we will always fight for what we believe, and sometimes we are mad, and sometimes we are expressing our point of view. We did that actually just here, and our candidate Nicholas did it yesterday with your education minister, when he said, what did he say?
The province owns your children.
The province owns your children. He said that. The province owns your children, and that's why he can mandate masks on your children here in New Brunswick. And that's why our candidate Nicholas was not happy. And so he expressed himself a little bit louder. We have the right. We have the right. So we call that democracy, strong debate. That's what I want. But they don't want me on the stage because I'll be mad on the stage and they don't want me there. But I can tell you, I will be on a lot of stages like this one all across the country to speak to Canadians. And I believe that Canadians are intelligent people. We are a populist party, but a smart populist party because we are appealing to your intelligence, not to your emotion. Every politician tries to appeal to your emotions. We are not. We have a platform that is based on strong principles, and you need to read our platform. You need to use your mind a little bit, and that's what we are doing. And I believe that Canadians are intelligent. And I believe that you know better than me what is good for you in your own life. And I believe also that, I have faith in Canadians, and I have faith that you have the ability, the dignity, and the right to make your own decisions and determine your own destiny. That's only the beginning of a freedom revolution. We need to do a lot of changes in this country. I spoke about COVID-19. I can speak about immigration, mass immigration right now in this country. 400,000 newcomers every year, 400,000 a year after 2 years. That's the population of Nova Scotia. Do you want a new Nova Scotia every 2 years in Canada? And the majority of them, 76% of them, are refugees or people coming on the reunification of family. They are not skilled immigrants that will be ready to help us to develop our economy. So we need to have fewer immigrants. We believe in a sustainable immigration system, not in mass immigration. We need to have fewer immigrants. We need to ask them questions. It's a privilege to be Canadian. It is not a right. And so we need to ask them questions if they believe in Canadian values, if they know that men and women are equal before the law, if they believe in freedom, if they believe in Western civilization values. So we will have an interview with them, and the big majority of them will be skilled immigrants. That means that an entrepreneur in Canada was not able to find workers, Canadians, for that job, and that entrepreneur will have the right to go and try to find a foreigner for that job. So we call that skilled immigrants. So our immigration system must be in line with our economic needs. That's what we want. So instead of having 76% of reunification of family and refugees, 76% of them on 150,000 must be skilled immigrants. And yes, we'll have some refugees, but the real one, when their life is in danger in another country. not the ones that are crossing the border in my own province in Quebec illegally. We don't want them. Their life is not in danger in the US.
That's right.
So we are not American. We won't need to build a wall at the Roxanne Road, but we are Canadian. We can build a little fence over there. That will be efficient, a nice fence, and we'll tell them you want to come to our country. You know, you can enter at the official point of entry. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that because if they do that, they will say, I'm a refugee. And they're going to say, no, you're coming from the US, your life is not in danger, go back there. But when they cross the border illegally at a non-official point of entry, they are claiming that they are refugees, and because of the deal that we have with the US, they can come as a refugee. So we need to stop that. And they are still crossing. The mainstream media is not there at the Roxanne Road, but they are still crossing illegally the border right now. So our fence will be very efficient, and that will be able to stop that. But the Conservatives won't speak about that, the NDP, the Liberals. Same thing for balancing the budget. Justin Trudeau think that money is coming from the sky. You know, no. And Aaron O'Toole, the budget will balance itself. Yeah, we know that. And now we have the biggest deficit in our history, $354 billion. But Aaron O'Toole said, I will balance the budget, but I will do that in 10 years. But you know what? Aaron O'Toole is asking for a 4 years mandate. So he's saying that he won't balance the budget. For him, it's not important. My first promise that I did the second day of the election at my press conference with no media. And I said, and you must read it, it's on our party webpage, People's Party of Canada. I said, I won't do like the other political parties. I won't borrow money to give you money that we don't have and having a bigger and a bigger deficit. My promise today is to do zero promise, and I won't promise you any money. No, I won't try to buy your vote with balance the budget in 4 years, and we'll do that by cutting all the promises that these establishment politicians will say during this campaign first. Second, we will cut all the COVID-19 funding to individuals, to government, to businesses, because we will reopen the economy. This one. That was the announcement of today, actually. We will cut CBC. So we can save $1.2 billion, and we'll do it. But some people tell me, you know, if you do that, you know, Radio Canada and CBC, what will happen? I said, what will happen? They will have to find money from their viewers. Yes. And what will happen? Knowing that their viewers don't like what they're saying, they won't give money. So what will happen? Bye. They will go bankrupt. Awesome. Justin Trudeau played his card very well before the election. Before, he was very generous with CBC, and after that, with all the other establishment and mainstream media. So he bailed out the media with $600 million. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut that also. We're going to save $600 million. So that's for the media. So, and after that, I believe that the media must be independent.
That's right.
You know, they must not be dependent on the government.
Liberal propaganda.
Yeah, no more liberal propaganda, you're right. And we can cut out again a little bit more. What we will do, all corporate welfare. The federal government is giving between $5 to $10 billion to big corporations. That's unfair, because if you are a small business here in Fredericton, you pay your taxes, and the government is forcing you to pay your taxes and is giving that to Bombardier or GM. We will cut that. That will be fair. No more corporate welfare, no more subsidies to businesses. And last, foreign aid. The federal government is giving $5 billion a year in foreign aid. To do what? To do what? To fight climate change in Africa. Do you really believe that a dictator in Africa is using that money to fight climate change? You have a point there. So, and also we are giving money to China. You know that the federal government is giving dollars and all money to a Chinese development bank. So the Chinese government said, don't give money to the Chinese government. We're going to create a bank, and the Chinese government, Communist Party will be in charge of the bank, International Development Bank, and give money like that. And all the other countries that are putting money in that bank with the Chinese Communist Party, we will use that money. The communists are saying we will use that money to build a bridge and roads in Africa. But do you know what the federal government? The federal government is helping the Communist Party of China to be more active in Africa. And we don't want that, so we're going to cut that also. And that's why I said that we are putting our country first, we are putting Canadians first, and we are doing politics for our country, and our country must keep and be sovereign and independent. So all these UN and international organizations also, we will cut their funding, so we're going to say no to the UN, no to the So we're going to do all that, and that's why it will be doable to balance the budget in 4 years. And after that, we will lower taxes, not with borrowed money, but with surplus. We're going to give you more of your own money in your pocket. That's responsible, and that's why we are doing politics differently, because I'm not trying to buy your votes by telling you that I will give you money that I don't have. But I forgot on COVID. So that's about balancing the budget. On COVID, I forgot one thing that we will do also. We will fire Teresa.
PPC! 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 PPC!
Sorry, that's important. I forgot that. That's right. And so, I spoke about foreign aid, balancing the budget, Canada first, immigration, COVID-19. I can speak about pipelines. Yeah, I believe that, the Energy East pipeline must be built. And we can do it. recipe to do it. And you must tell me, Maxime, you may tell me, Maxime, you're coming from Quebec, and you know that the Quebec government is against that. And because of the Quebec government, we don't have that pipeline Energy East that will come here and bring jobs and prosperity. You are right and you are wrong. You are right that the Quebec government is against pipelines. But why? Because the Quebec government is listening to the radical environmentalist leftists. That's why they're against. The Quebec government is not listening to Quebecers. When I'm saying that, I know that I have the population of Quebec on our side. Why? Because we had a huge tragedy in Lac Mégantic when the train with full of gas, full of oil, go through a village, Lac Mégantic. That was a huge tragedy, and Quebecers understand. And they know that it's safer for the environment and safer for the population to transport oil and gas by pipelines than by train or truck. They know that. And we are in 2021, and they know that we can build a very safe pipeline with the new technology. And they know also that all the gas going from the Pierre-Elliott Trudeau Airport in Montreal, there's a lot of gas and oil that must go to the airport in Montreal. But all that oil and gas is coming from the port of Montreal by boat, and it has to go to the airport. But the gas and oil they're going to the airport through pipelines downtown, just the downtown Montreal. Under the downtown, there's pipelines over there. So is it dangerous? No. But they don't tell that to Quebecers. There's pipelines